Time. I'm 3 minutes behind. I got the guys that are members of Aphrodite Sprints, as well as the new army of Aphrodite, to really bust my balls with that. But it's kind of a reverse thing, because the one most common commodity, we hear about it, we all know about it, but we got to go beyond just hearing and knowing. We got to live it. We got to dig deeper. We got to reach higher. Time. We all have the same amount of time each day. So it's precious commodity, isn't it? So you got to start to master your time. But for most, it's a turn off. It's as if I say, let's go find God. No, I don't want to go to a fucking church. Or maybe you like going to church. But for most, you start with a false notion of it. Time is not taking like little notes and so on. Time is awareness. You can still do whatever the fuck you want with your time, but you must become more aware of time. And what better way to become more aware of time than to really precisely pay attention to time? Plus also, time is one of those things that most people are a little overly casual about it. It's so common, especially in a big city, to hear people go like, oh, there was a lot of traffic. No, you left too late. So time is often side to side with not being fully honest. So what? You wouldn't certainly be the first one to give a little white lie. I did it plenty times and much bigger lies. But it's not even about other people. It's not even about the fact that others do it. It's really what it does to us. It's robbing us from tapping into the core of our potency. Potency. How can we possibly handle the big stuff if we're not sharp with the small stuff? So start to take charge of your time. Time is your bitch. You are the master. Turn it into a study. And it's also essential to understand that there's different cycles of time. There's the cycle of time of an hour. You can do a lot in an hour. There's a cycle of time of a day, but there's also the cycle of time of a year. And right now, we're facing almost like, okay, you want to get the gold, everybody fucking run, because the gateway, the window of opportunity is closing. Let 1 weekend pass by between the holidays, the new year, and the rest of the year, and people have forgotten already. If I know it's not going to be the case for me. I'm doing a 365-day challenge. I'll be the guy in June to tell you, hello, it's June 2nd of the year 2019. Where the fuck are you with your resolutions? So we got to pay attention. And you pay attention also to that window of opportunity that's closing right now. And the way we keep it open is we stay focused. We know that to turn your resolution into a reality, it's a daily duty. And most people, they get a little bit excited and then they go back to sameness. And in the boredom of sameness, the lack of stimulation, they're no longer accessing their own resources. Now you can do that at several levels. See, there's a guy who's a go-getter, but he could also fall into same old thing. I've been guilty of that. You know, this year I really want to top it all and top it all from the get-go. So time is of the essence. If you were at EC2 on Saturday, we're doing a bonus time efficiency session. Time is also connected with focus. We have 24 hours. What do you focus on during the 24 hours? Well, we'll learn on Saturday. I give you a glimpse of this. Most people have it backwards. I divide time and your use of time in 4 categories. We're going to put the ideal one first, afterwards. But then most people, it's last or it's beyond last because it doesn't even fucking exist. So every day we have some obligation. If you're not engaged in the career of your dream, whatever work you're doing, let it serve you. I just did a beautiful podcast with Tony Dillinger, whom at some point went back to working for somebody else, but he treated it as a study. He enriched himself. So everything that we do, every day that we do it, is resources for the future. Akash, I love you very much, but your cuteness and the way you eat so elegantly is distracting me. Is it possible to be off camera for the time being? Excellent. So, focus. Each day, unless you decide to quit today, you're going to have to go and take care of your obligations. So that's one chunk of time. As you take care of your obligation, there's also going to be some milder everyday things to do, and they repeat themselves every day. You're going to have to feed yourself. You're going to have to wash yourself. You're going to have to commute. You're going to have to take care of the back and forth of all email, some social media stuff, and so on. There, it's very circular because it's like back at the same thing every day. For most people, their job is the same. Then as you do those two things, we're not robots. So you also need a little time to refresh and sleep and recharge and recreation. But then here's the biggest, most omitted chunk. Time for your dreams, your mission, your desires to come to fruition. How do most people do it? They are behind. So their everyday commute and taking care of a meal and getting ready in the morning has become such a frenzy that it's usually their number one preoccupation. Oh shit, we're late, I gotta go. Oh, and then they show up to their commitments and they are not sufficiently charged. So right there, they just get by. The combination of those two, the distress of the frenzy of always trying to catch up, oh, I'm late, I should get up, and so on, and doing something that you don't love and not putting love into it, not turning it into a fucking study, you know? You could be like working for the worst boss on the fucking planet. Your colleagues could be completely fucking retarded. It's still an amazing social study. You can still pay attention without telling them so it doesn't get confrontational. To, okay, if I was to run this, what could I do to do it better? And this is free education, and you educate and empower and enlighten yourself. Okay? You could also, especially in the presence of difficult people, train yourself to become a master at dealing with people. Most of them are difficult. If they're not difficult because they are difficult, then they're accidentally difficult. Yesterday, I was trying to walk through a crowd, and most people, I was like, this is ridiculous. They don't know how to walk. Adults who don't know how to facilitate a flow of pedestrian through a crowd. Wow. Then after that, usually we're beat. We're exhausted. So we need to rest. We're craving a little breath. So we take too many breaks, too long. We want to forget about that. And again, always look at it through different levels. There's those who are really in that situation at a bottom level. There's those who are still in the same fucking situation at a top level. Okay? For example, in all honesty, I found myself in that situation. Today, I got started a little late. I had to run, but I fought all day to make sure you make your videos. And then where I showed up, I was a little affected at first. I said, no, you're not going to be affected. And then that last category is taking care of your dreams. It's starting your own business. It's going to talk to girls, spending time with girls. it's spending time studying, it's going to the gym. So does this sound familiar? You're a little late and you're a little off to start with, and you're running and you're rushing to show up somewhere where you don't really want to be. And as you do that, props to you. Then, of course, you're a little beat and you want a breath from that. And eventually, by the time you make it home, it's not easy to still work out, write your book, do your music. If you're doing music, follow your mission, follow your passion, or have at least a rich, entertaining, quality evening. So we turn this around. This is the way of champions, because they start to properly fuel themselves. You start any four of them, and eventually you reposition them. So let's say you start to fuel yourself more, okay? You start to make sure you really recharge. You don't go to bed exhausted. If you're very, very, very tired, you go, let me put some essential oil, lavender. Let me take a quick, super fast, warm bath. Let me play a meditation in the background. Let me breathe. Let me charge myself. Anything to nourish your body, your soul, your heart. So now you're a little more lively. So now you can also, the stuff we do on a daily basis, the commute, the cooking, all of that, okay? Laundry, all those tasks, the mail, the email, you name it, you refine it. Each day, you turn it into a game to do it faster. You time it. You want to do it better. You reorganize, you delegate, you find a better way. And if you found a better way, you top it again, you top it again, you top it again, you top it again. You know, the first time that I started to do that, took me 40-something minutes to put together my breakfast the way I liked it in the morning. I was able to take 40 minutes and shrink it into, I believe, 12 minutes. The numbers may be slightly off. It's been a few years. Okay? And then you no longer, no matter how boring what it appears to be, what you have to do, you do it like the boss in the making. You apply yourself. If anything, you apply the ability to work with vigor, with sharpness, with precision. And if you can do it when the task is difficult and unpleasant, then when you'll do what you love, you'll do it better than anybody else. And then you got to start to make some headways. Begin, even if you write just a page, even if you do push-ups at home next to your bed first. You got to engage yourself, and the time is now. And then eventually we flip that around, and you get up in the morning and you get up for your dreams. And the first thing that you do in the morning, even if it takes you getting up 2 hours early, then you work out, you write a little bit in your book. This is a metaphor. Okay, maybe you're never gonna write a fucking book. Although in the Renaissance day, every good Renaissance man would write at some point something. It was part of what people would do. Okay, maybe you start your own fucking YouTube channel, or maybe you start your own business, or maybe you get into multi-level marketing, something to get you fucking started, but you gotta follow your heart, follow your dreams. And when you fuel that first, even if brief at first, but you honor that first things first in the morning, then you'll find a strength and a vigor and a passion that will have you go through the day a little bit sharper, which automatically you work for others, you start to do better, your mood is lifted, you notice other things, and you can start to benefit. Then, you know, it's like the guy who goes to a nightclub and he's kind of down and he doesn't like the place, and so and then suddenly he starts to pay attention a little bit differently, and he makes a few connections, and it's not perfect, but he makes a few connections. He chats with the bartender. It's all practice. Every day you're preparing. Every day you're preparing for your opportunities, and you're strengthening for your challenges. Then not only you will need more rest, the rest will be more rewarding. I've heard today a beautiful recording. Somebody was saying, you have to give yourself the gift of knowing you're making headways on your dreams. Because when you do that, watch how you sleep better, deeper. Watch how you are calmer. And most people, they mistaken calm and lazy. You can be calm and fast. You can be calm and efficient. And then now, you know, you have, so if we put it back in place, number one, you get up in the morning, the first thing that you do is you nurture, you nourish, and you invest in your dreams. And you got to do that. If you're not doing that, nothing is going to change. Then you're just fucking teasing yourself worse than a girl that's telling you she's going to show up and never calls you back. After that, whatever you're doing throughout the day, turn it into training. Training for your opportunity. The day you're boss, you're going to have a lot of subdivisions, a lot of subcategories. You better know a little bit of everything. You better know also that one day someone may not show up in the company and you have to replace them. And if you have new people and you know quite a bit about life, then you'll be able to better train them, better manage them, more and to inspire them. Right? After that, well, the stuff you got to do every day, you now shrunk that. So now you have more time for what matters most, and then you need less rest, and your rest is of greater quality. Okay? I just wanted to present you those two models. Okay, most people right now, and watch out, because I bet you within days you back at that. For a moment, you open your mind, and I hope you did. We're going to talk about in case you didn't. But before you know it, you're back at the frenzy. It's constant catch up, and it wears us off, and it sucks the life and the juice out of you. And it's not like you're being juiced or getting a fucking blowjob. It's draining. As it is draining, then whatever you have to show up to, you're dragging your feet, which makes it worse. And after that, of course, you fucking beat. And if you're not beat in terms of, I gotta sleep right now, you want a breath, you want a movie, you want out of this reality, you want a fucking beer, you want to sometimes just sit down or walk around. And then who and what suffers the most? Your greatest destiny, your dreams, and then you take them to the grave. And you may say that's pretty fucking dramatic. No, the world has it backwards. They're dramatic when they shouldn't fucking be. Okay? Yes, traffic will be traffic, so stop being dramatic with that. Guaranteed, you're going to encounter people in traffic that get weird. So if you do traffic, do it like rain. It's raining. I'm going to get wet. Okay? You go to a concert, it's loud. Those people who go, oh, how do you talk to a girl in a nightclub? It's loud. Hello, it's loud for everybody. Okay? So don't be dramatic there. Just fucking endure. People who only and always want to feel good, and for 2 days they feel bad, and they feel bad because they felt bad. Don't be dramatic about that, but be dramatic. Be dramatic about the big picture, the price you would pay. The worst regret is to know that you could have, but you did not. And that regret is awful, especially that most likely you'll experience it when you're old and nearly dead. So on top of everything now, you're going to be fucking traumatized in your own mind. You don't want that, do you? So now here's the better model. The better model, you fuel yourself. You're patient. You make deposits. Hey, if every day you write a page, at the end of the year, you have a book. If every day you get 3 phone numbers, at the end of the year, you have over 1,000 fucking phone numbers. Even more. I'm being conservative. Okay? It's important. If you work out every single day, even if it's 10 fucking minute workout. But if we get caught in the thing, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, and then we go, oh, I worked so hard last year. Bullshit. Most of the time you were off bitching, you were dragging your feet. We got to take responsibility. So when does this change? It changes now. And when we change something, it's going to get a little scary. Some people may think, well, how do you sustain that through a whole year? Backwards. It will sustain you through a whole year. Watch. See, most people, they're going to start to unconsciously, subconsciously be discouraged because more and more they're going to realize, wow, it's not really changed. I'm doing the same old shit. Fuck that. It's February. I'm hustling to pay the rent. What about my dreams? What about my business? There's no evidence. It's not growing. What about my new girls? What about Valentine's Day? I don't even have a fucking girl for Valentine's Day, they're going to say. So that's what wears us off. And that's why it feels so hard to get going. But if every day you keep that window open, you got to keep it open and open it more. Most people have it backwards. A great example, if you go on a little vacation and you're excited, suddenly if you notice how you have way more energy, go and tell a person who's not going anywhere, pack a suitcase today. Pack a suitcase? I don't have the time. Pack a fucking suitcase today. No, fuck you. I'm not packing a suitcase today. Pack a fucking suitcase today. No! Are you going to pay me for it? But packing your suitcase for a holiday, it's a whole different deal. I'm open to taking questions. I'm open to being challenged. I'm open to hear from you. Where are we? You know, we still too fucking silent. The spiritual community, for the longest time, they've been talking about a new age that was to come. And they announce it in a way that's their way. I'm not putting it down. I like to be entertained. But I know, even I was kind of very I'm totally fucking eccentric. I've always wondered, what do you mean, like a new age? And then you're like, where are they taking this next? Are they going to tell us about fucking aliens landing or like, but what is happening is that through the evolution of the different revolutions and the social media and so on, we're a lot more aware. So now it's an age where we got to say it like it is. And we got to start to, the more people say it like it is, the better off we all are. See, the old model was a promise of a dream. They had called it the American dream. And that promise of a dream consisted also to look good in it. Okay? Notice there was a presupposition that you got a good family. This is a good man. This is a hard-working man. And you had your nice car and your nice house and your nice wife. And if you had a dog and a rifle on top of that, that was even fucking better. And if you showed up in church and you became a member of the community, that was the promise. That was good. Now, those very people would have fights at home, would have weird sexual stuff come up, you know. They would feel depressed. They would do fucked up stuff. They would also not maybe be 100%. And it was like, repressed. Don't say that. No, let's hide it. Let's not say it. Okay. And it started to go, no, we cannot repress that. Fuck that promise. Let's get real. We're humans. We're a blend of both. We're brilliant and full of shit at the same time. But if we only pretend we're brilliant, then the more brilliant one are going to make us feel like we're not that brilliant. And on top of that, we hide our shit and we hide it from others and we hide it from ourselves. And then comes New Year's, we go, yeah, Happy New Year, man. Have a good New Year. Yeah, happy holidays. Have a good new holiday. And if you pull people aside, they probably, half of them are fucking depressed. Half of them have fucking no clue where they're going next year. So let's get real. Liberation is when you start to also say, hey, so what was the beginning of my year so far? Well, I'm excited because I started strong sooner. Make a note of that. And later is better than never. So start and start strong. I got a little fed up. Nothing wrong with that. But as I got a little fed up, I put a touch more power in it. And you just never know. In chemistry, in cooking, in music, in art, in technology, you just never know what one little ingredient you add, and everything else is impacted by it. All the greatness. So you guys have been hustling, you know, Christian, Akash, Manny, you've been hustling. You got some good chops. Maybe all that you needed is a touch more sharpness. And we're not anal here. You know, I'll be the first one to go, hey, that's all right. I know you late. I'm not an asshole. But at the same time, we use that to drill ourselves. Sharpness. See, right now, notice, we're still ahead, but not that much. We're still ahead because we're excited about making this year better. We're still talking about it. I'm going to talk about it all through the fucking year. I'm probably going to do like Happy New Year every day. I'm going to say Happy New Year. That's my new thing. Happy New Year. I'll say it in September. I'll say it in July. I'll say it in August. I will say it all through the year. Happy New Year to you. But then life is still life. So then I made a little goof. The little goof is that I've let a little distress rob me from time, rob me from focus, and rob me from energy. There's a way to explore and observe reality that's very helpful, where you do it using polarity. If I only go, man, that was fucked up, I fucked up, why did I do that? How is that making things better? If you always and only go, that's okay, I'm sure there's a reason for it, where is that going to go? So I still believe in divine order, as always, stronger than ever. So maybe it's the universe that's working the breath, like waves of the ocean, you know? And when if ever we feel like I'm doing good, and suddenly we destabilize, how do we know that it's not to solidify that? So that's what happened to me. I got really destabilized. I was so fucking pissed. And then I said, no, it's never too late. I'm turning this thing around. So lesson one, start soon, or start now and keep on starting, like a car after the winter. Then start strong. Because if you have a car and it's got no fuel in it, doesn't matter how far you want to go, you're not going to go very far. Daily fuel, daily motivation, strengthen yourself, make it a must, make it an obligation. I don't care if I come out not shaved, I prefer to shave. I don't care if I come out not showered, I prefer to shower. But I will not come out of the house or come into the day without fueling myself, motivating myself, clearing myself, inspiring myself, reassuring myself, centering myself, balancing myself. And you got to come back to that again and again, because that's your center point. What do they do when they're racing? They do the pit stop. Okay? What do you do if you're driving? Suddenly you pull over for a moment. So there's that place where you got to recharge. Okay? Charge the phone. But for most people, charging is 12 hours of sleep. That is not fucking charging. Nothing wrong with that. But charging is to inspire yourself again, to tap into your passion, to tap into the highest, the greatest. I exist only in the highest level of consciousness now. And if you don't do it, soon, everyone, no matter who we are, we find ourselves far from it. And then we're in disbelief. And then it feels like it's out of reach. And where it's very deadly is that if everybody around us was like, hey, I feel good today, I'm pumped up, and check this out, I found this new mantra, and oh my God, I have a new meditation, I feel so centered, I feel so zen, let's do this, it's so good to see you, okay? Then we would be reminded of it. But no, we're constantly reminded, yeah, man, I'm okay, not too bad, why are you doing that stuff? Oh man, people, and that constant downer is so present around us that even if we meditate every day, even if we do the work, we're still exposed to this frequency, okay? So it's almost like you're walking in the dirt with a white shirt. Good luck keeping it fucking clean. You better bring it back and wash it again, and bring it back and wash it again, and bring it back and wash it again. I see questions are coming. I'm going to address them in just a second. I just want to give you a sense to lead first into a deeper level of honesty. And then we had that explosion at EC2. You were there, you know, and I hope it was significant for you and that you are still open to even more significant. And I shouldn't even say it like that, because I know. But I'm not you. For me, I know that was big. And for Akash, that was big. For Manny, that was a turning point. Okay? Because we really went at it strong. And then AZD fucking arrived like dynamite. Okay, so the sum total of everything, everybody there got us aware of, you got to show up strong. And now there's that opening, that sense of like, you know what? We can still do something. It's happening. There's like, it's beyond hope. It's a knowingness, a certainty. What happened right after that? Right after that, there's that first, could be someone, a place, something you didn't expect it, a bill, something, and it irritates you. And suddenly you went out of like that higher level of consciousness back into irritation. And almost like somebody who eats well, in one night they eat crap, they're gonna have a different response to the crap. than if they eat crap all the time. After a while, the body gets used to it. So then you're back. You pay attention. That's the first pitfall. I'm going to talk about the deadly D's in just a moment, and deadly places to be at. But that's the first one. Then what happens? The second one. The second one is you're excited and suddenly you have obligations and they start to stack. That's why we need time efficiency, time mastery, and we need to constantly refine before after a while it could be overwhelmed. And if you're a little bit overwhelmed, you're a little more sensitive to people. And if you already feel like you're a touch delayed, then you pay more attention to what's going to delay you. And guaranteed others are going to delay you. It's inevitable. Never seen a company where everybody's level of dedication, expertise, passion, and mission equals that of the person that's running the company. Or they will be replaced. The person running the company will be replaced. So I feel that's why I'm doing this tonight, that we need every single possible measure. Is it really possible to defy all the odds and live the life of a champion? Is it really possible to turn every situation around, any situation around? Is it still possible to arise, even if only spiritually? You know, some people, it's the end of their life. They're not going to live forever, but spirit can help them, spirituality, or the loss of a loved one, or a really messed up situation. So to go to that place, to really arise, is it possible? I'm not like advertiser who constantly go, take this, you'll feel better. Oh, take this, just this and that, and you'll be better. Yeah, watch those videos and you'll own your own business and you'll be a millionaire. Fuck that. I'm the person that says the odds of that, it is possible. But the odds for the odds to be in your favor, you got to give it everything, every fucking thing. And see, the world measure based on what they have to do, how much they like to do it, and how tired or not they are to do it. That's terrible. That's a terrible model. But if instead you go and you set a target and it's bigger and it's higher and you hustle, then you start to do more, you see more, you grow, and you also become more aware of what was holding you back. We're going to do the series of these in just a second. VK, you mentioned to put more love into all activities. What are examples of this? We need to always go back to the core equation. Core equation is when you put the pieces together in a way. And my darling, could I have my phone once you're done sharing? Please, that would be wonderful. I'll give you an example of an equation, and then we're related to this one. Sometimes giving the outside example is more helpful or is less invested. A person got really aggravated. They got aggravated because of some, thank you, love. They got aggravated. I love your winter fashion. They got really aggravated, and you know, we could say almost rightfully so, but what the fuck is that? Rightfully so. It's the wrong form of righteousness. That doesn't mean that you cannot tell people that you're displeased, but what is it doing to you? So suddenly, they're aggravated because they felt that this person didn't believe in what they like. In that moment of aggravation, suddenly they're no longer taking action. They're no longer feeling good. They're no longer making headway. So they are being robbed of their time, their energy, good feelings, a good moment. And that's the old equation will be, well, it's because they made me upset, and I hate it when people do that. Now let's re-examine that equation. If the initial concern was that those people were potentially coming in the way of his wellness and happiness and him being able to function, then to be aggravated by it is doing more of the same than what they are doing to the self. So now you have that new equation and you go, wait a minute, I'm not going to do to me what they do to me. I'm not going to let that rob me from the time, because initially I was concerned that because of their behavior, it would be costly to me. And now being aggravated is even more costly. Let me drop being aggravated. See, that equation makes it easier because it makes sense. Makes it much easier than trying to go, I know I shouldn't feel aggravated. I know I shouldn't feel aggravated. The same thing now with the love. Somebody goes, you're doing something and you don't really enjoy it. And somebody goes, come on, you should put some love in there. You go, what? Plus, what do you mean put some love in it? You want me to put my dick inside the truck that I'm loading? You want me to hug it? You want me to look at the fucking truck and say, I love you, truck that I'm loading, and nearly breaking my back loading boxes. But if instead you go, okay, everything that I do provides me with experience. Experience is a commodity, because if I have more experience than the others wherever I go, that makes me a leader. Do you enjoy that? Yeah, I'm starting to like that. So now you can start to put some love in it. And part of being successful is dealing with difficulties, difficult people, and finding a way and being resourceful, and everybody else gives up and I'm still going at it. Ooh, every opportunity is a good opportunity to do that. I enter a gross bathroom, I can be, okay, this kind of growth, I'm gonna make sure I stay clean, I'm gonna make it happen fast, watch the door, don't touch, wow, now I'm a man on a mission. You know, it's like playing a video game. It's so much enrichment. So then, of course, the love starts to flow in it. So it's the equation and the realization that if you really pay attention, every minute, every moment enriches you. Everything is a source of inspiration. Everything is a source of betterment. See, if you're doing a job and you don't really like the way the company is ran or the way other people are working, they're enriching you by giving you a reference of what not to do. And the list goes on and the list goes on. So it's about coming back to that center point of knowing I'm doing this for me. And it's a collecting. And even a silly story, even if suddenly at work two people go like, oh, you know what, so-and-so, then you pay attention and go, oh, wow, they're criticizing their friend while the friend isn't there. Interesting. I'm not here to judge. I'm not going to criticize them for criticizing their friend. Now you're doing pickup and you go, what's your take on those people at work who criticize someone, and then you see them with that someone and they're all like, oh, hi, good to see you. So we constantly enrich. Even endurance at times, you know, endurance. I mean, I'm joking around, but at the same time, I remember once I was at a very exclusive seminar with Tony Robbins, and he surprised the entire audience. We were ready to get pumped. We were ready to go for it. Then he talked about the fact that it's not being pessimistic to foresee that we have gone through an extended period of time without a significant war that involves more than a few countries or just an area of the world, that the odds of some shit happening at some point while we're still alive is pretty high. The day I heard that, I was like, you know what? If that's the way it's gonna go, I want to be the survivor that helps others survive. I want to be the survivor. By the way, I just got a new lead in a movie, slightly more significant, it's growing, where I am a renegade rebel leader. It's basically the end of times, and I am leading the pack to survive. I like it. I'm going with some bestial stuff. It's gonna make Mad Max look like it was a pussy experience. Pussy. I think we got it. Okay. Do remember also, we have been conditioned in so many ways, but I will expose them. It's part of my mission, my life mission, and I will expose me in exposing them as well. We have been conditioned sometimes to create gaps. First, we're comfortable. So when we're comfortable, there's a big fucking difference between and you're approaching a wild animal that could eat you, and you just have a weapon. You don't have a fucking bazooka or a shotgun. You have a weapon that if you didn't pay attention, the animal could be behind you and the animal wins over you. Or you could put your foot and there's another deadly animal, a tarantula or something. So think about the level of focus, of reaching for it, of wanting to survive versus the French fries. Do they also come with the, oh, or even more, not even, you don't even need to interact. Here, I'm gonna destroy this thing. Eat 24. I'm gonna destroy it. I'm gonna plant my own fucking vegetables and I'm gonna grow and cook them myself. And then it arrives and you go, oh, they forgot, hello, they forgot the napkins. Yes, let me go to Yelp. So all of that causes us to be a little too much like we hear a word, like, remember, that's the point I was making the other day, and we wait for it to be given onto us. Now, you guys are not like that. But you know what? Personally, I want to look at all the minimal ways or the big ways in which I may be like that. Let's talk about the D's. So your biggest concern at this point. First, we all come on this planet with a life mission. When we deny that to come to fruition, we tend to start to get a little weird. And then we try to find what's right for us, but we use the systems that were taught to us before, and we're not listening to our heart. And then even if we suddenly, instead of going, let me every day I will listen to my heart more and more. My heart, I thank you for guiding me, and ease the body and let it come and make some headways and try things. You know, my mentor Marshall Silver used to say, fail forward fast. If you don't know what to do, do something. And then you'll make a distinction and we'll lead you a little further, and then do something else, and then do something else, and eventually it comes together. Okay, it's not going to be, hello, we have brought you your life mission. Would you like it warm or no? It's not like that. So we have that. Our potential is yet to be determined. Our potential. Okay, watch a person. A great exercise is to make a list of everywhere you said, oh, I'm not that good. Oh, I don't have a good voice. Don't ask me to sing. I don't know how to fucking dance. Okay? And now the survival of a loved one depends on you applying yourself towards that. And at first you still bought into the hypnotic program. So you go, oh, I can't. But little by little, if you really want them to live, and they say, well, try again. Let's say they're not like, they're psychotic, but they're not like the worst psychotic. They still give you a sense. Say, try again. Try again. Yeah? Then you'll be surprised. So our potential is to yet be determined. Your desire, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have come this past weekend. You wouldn't keep on coming back. You know it. You know it. It's inevitable. It's in you. You cannot escape this. I'm the same. We can't fucking escape that. Trust me, I've had my share of fuck it along the way. I'm tired. You can't escape your own greatness. It's like a tiger within. It's got to go somewhere. It's like electricity. It's like an atomic force within. It's got to go somewhere. You will not be able to escape it. At best, you're going to keep it shut, and you're going to feel all weird, and you will wonder why you feel all weird, because you're not honoring it. You're not taking action. You're still debating. You're still like questioning, doubting, instead of acting, getting back in the flow. All of us this weekend who showed up for the whole time, we all gained momentum. We all unleashed ourselves, whether it was to the breath or the exercises, the inspiration from the speakers, and so on. I got to be on the phone with Brian Casella shortly. We're doing another podcast. So what will come in the way? And then it seems so simple. Yeah, you know, my best year ever. The first thing that's going to come in the way is that we need to clean house. The bottom D is defeat. Write this down. A scale, but start it from the bottom. Defeat. Defeat. So defeat, you know, is a big bracket. It's like water. It could be a drop or it could be a fucking ocean. So there's a few places in life where we tend to act defeated. There were times in life when we acted defeated, so it kind of scarred us mentally, imagination, because I said, acted defeated. Defeat is an illusion. Defeat is only valid if we don't take further action, examination, and eventually go back to something else. Or if we crystallize it by saying, yeah, I used to, but then some shit happened. Even if some shit happened, first, we don't know what happens. Could be motion. Could be that you had a better place to be at, a better girl to be with. So we don't know. We make all those fucking decisions. So we need to watch out. Because if we're still under the impression that we were defeated a few times, we show up a little more cautiously and rapidly too cautiously. The guy didn't really thrive with women, and he had some shit with a girl, and then he tried one more time, and that didn't really go very far. If he's in the class, he's not hungry, he's not ready, or he's unaware that he's ready, and he's unaware that he could be more hungry. So we need to shake that off, clear it, clean it. Watch also the fluctuations. Today, a couple of times I felt defeated. So did you. It wasn't a big defeat that you had a sword piercing your heart and you were bleeding on the ground and it was the end of all things, but you made it seem a little bit like that. So did I. Sometimes that's simple as we lay it and we start to fucking freak out. Sometimes we try one thing, we cannot find the document, we cannot find the file, the phone is dead, and we start to act like we're defeated. And then defeat causes delays, distractions. So we can't afford the concept of defeat. It's like rejection, it's out. We can't afford the illusion of defeat. We got to be mindful. Did we ever feel defeated? We got to rewrite that script. We got to reorganize that. We got to clear it, cleanse it, clean slate now. And we got to be mindful that there's still a couple areas where you feel defeated. And there's always a way. You're the way. Make a way. There's a better way. And there's also always little moments of the day, even when and where we are strong. Often you find yourself, if you're here because you're doing pickup and seduction in a nightclub, and suddenly halfway through the night you feel defeated. Bullshit. The one about defeated is the bottom one, below defeat. If we accept defeat, that's why I said it first, then we tend to end up being desperate. Desperation is when we're the first one to say there's no solution. Watch out. And sometimes we have little residues of desperation. Any guy who goes like, yeah, I know. What the fuck is the... It's the desperation. You still have bought into defeat, or you assume future defeat. Even in the worst case, we don't know how capable we will be. We don't know. We may surprise ourselves, and there's life after life. So what are we fucking worried about? So we got to watch out. Or despair will be the worst is the subtle one. See? The worst. And see, sometimes I think the homeless is almost more likely to maybe one day succeed big than the guy who's just like in a slight state of desperation. It's so mild he doesn't detect it, or she doesn't detect it. Okay? Blessed be those who hit rock bottom, because if they open their minds and hearts to higher forces, and if they do their part, that can help them to reach the top. If you fall down a little bit and then you get back up, you're not going to stay where you're at. You're going to go high. If you're not falling, but you're not rising, then you stay the same. If you're not falling and you're not rising, then you stay the same. All right. So the next level up, it's distress. You know, you're dotting. Distress is a lie. That's our biggest enemy. If the day we have instruments, there's more and more instruments, ways to measure, to anticipate, you know. I'm certain that eventually, but it's not about the instruments, because psychically we can already do it. We can detect it. If we end the day, we can measure a whole year, and almost I call those measurement device for earthquake activities and electroencephalogram or whatever they call. And suddenly we notice like, January 3rd, wow, the distress was quite high. It went down a little bit. That was a good day. Oh, the distress reached a peak right there. And now we go, okay, distress, and we calculate. Distress here was a 6, there it was a 12, there was this. And you add all of that, and you subtract the hours. You subtract. You get the fucking idea, okay? You get it. So we got to eliminate distress. Distress is an enemy, it's costly. It's a luxury, a false luxury that we cannot afford. Let the world be like, man, I'm so pissed off. Man, I'm so frustrated. Oh, man, I'm so tired. Let them do that. Successful people don't do that. You got to make a pact with yourself. And you still will be distressed. That's the beauty of it. But you will be mindful that you are, and you will be more and more reminded of the cost of this. And if you really pay attention to it, then you can trace it back. It's fucking insane. Then you can see how your reality would have been different. See the coat that I'm fucking wearing? See the coat that I'm fucking wearing? Okay? I caught myself in distress and I got it back eventually a little bit later. But today I saw a text from Pam, Vampire Rockstar, said, Vince, I got a coat for you. Do you want to walk in the fashion show? We had a fashion show. I didn't need to. The fashion show was brief and it was fun. You know, it was fun. It was not the fashion show that I went to with Cosmo when I was with those two, like Miss Southwest or and her friend. Dog the Bounty Hunter was there, and there were 200 photographs at least to be conservative, and at least 500 people. It was at the Getty Center. It was not that. But then again, they were good photographers. It would have been nice to have a pretty cool picture with the code. And some of those photographers, I'm seeing the pictures, they were goddamn fucking good. And they were lights. It would have been nice. Hey, so I did a fashion show. Even if for the sake of just knowing, hey, I did it. And then, you know, you do it once, you do it twice, and you don't know who's there, you know. Maybe somebody would say, the guy with the mohawk, that stands out. I want him in that fashion show. That'd be pretty cool. Or invite him. But I missed out because of that much distress. So start to trace it back until your mind realizes distress is too costly. You can't afford the distress. Above distress, it's doubtful. You're a little doubtful. You know, you start your day, you're like, oh, could be good, I gotta go, I gotta do it. It's mild. Again, we're measuring mild, okay? Doubtful. And we can't afford that. We can't afford that. Can't be doubtful, okay? So then we get into the upper brackets. The next one up, the transition is you're a little disenchanted, meaning it's Thursday, 3 weeks from now, and you're no longer like, wow, EC2, I saw the light, charge. You're like, yeah, yeah. You want to go do some pickup tonight? Yeah, we should. We could. How's your project going? All right. Did you work out today? Yeah, I did. You can't afford that. That's the beginning of the end. And if there can be more, but that's the blueprint. So the next one is you're more decisive. And this decisive mean you could find yourself, suddenly you go, oh shit. Yeah. Some days, you know, I work so hard. Some days I wake up and I'm kind of, where am I in the morning? Or I take a nap before a podcast and I'm all like, oh shit, where am I? What the fuck? Okay? Good, thank you. You guys are good. I love you. All right. So you can then still decide. I decide. Suddenly you two and you go, you want to do some pickups? I go, no. Let's decide now that we're not doing some pickups tonight. Tonight, we fucking give it all. It doesn't matter if girls go for it. It doesn't matter if they say yes, if they say no. What matters is how do we show up? Are we hunters? Let's go hunt. Treat every matters of your life like a hunter would. And not a hunter because I don't really support that. I'm cool. I'm okay. I don't want to start a fight about that. There's many other causes to defend or accuse and so on. But let's say, you know, the hunter, like, no, we're talking hunters like we're a fucking tribe. We don't know better than hunting. If we don't hunt, the women don't eat and the kids don't eat. And we cannot go back and go like to the elders of the tribe. Where's the food? Well, yeah, you know, we saw a couple of deers. Where is the food? So you cannot go home and go like, oh, that was fun. No, numbers is the name of the game. Now, if you are entering your life from a place of defeat and desperation, and somebody comes and goes, number is the name of the game, that's going to stress you out. that's probably going to make it worse. So it's your responsibility to get to that level of decisiveness. Okay. After that, it's dedication. You are dedicated every day. You dedicate a moment every day. Every day you dedicate yourself. You dedicate your day. You dedicate every single moment of the day. And above it is devotion. Devotion, you bring a lot of light in it. Devotion, you bring spirit in it. Devotion, it's your own rendition of devotion. But devotion is nothing ever went wrong, and it's 100% trust. I may not know what comes after life, but I know that if I am here right now and a force created me, that force will never let me down. So now, wherever I go, I have a sense it's beyond a mission. It's devotion. And it's like a meditation. And you devote yourself. And everything takes on a new flavor. And now it is magic until boom! You're back at a place of feeling defeated. But that is the breath and the motion of how life helps us to expand and evolve. I'm not going to bother saying that we are about to make the recording of EC2 available. The tab will be quite high to honor the daring man who showed up in person, because this is elite, and whoever wants it, they should know. If they don't know, they can inquire, but we don't have much time for inquiry. I will say that you should join me on Instagram, Vince Kelvin. And for those of you who are at EC2, many of you, I will see you. We got the dates 27, 28, 29, and 30th of June. It's called the Cosmic Code for the Enrichment of the Human Condition and Experience. And I just found a brand new venue. It will also be limited to 33. So if you were on the streaming, or if you were there but you didn't like the cash or money, decided we're going for it, we're going for more, okay? And you wish to be there, Ben Todd, Charlie Pinello, Nicolay, whomever else, you wish to be at the Cosmic Code, then message me ASAP, because we're doing something wonderful for reattendance. I will not say it publicly because it's a fragment of what others will be paying. That's all for me. I'm gonna do a topic. That's the key. All the speakers who were at EC2 on the phone, I get them, and I said, we're topping it right now. I'm gonna ask you questions. You're gonna give me answers. We got a fucking topic. That's how I approach it. So I'm doing one with BC. So wow. That's going to be top. Everybody, I love you so tremendously. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This wouldn't happen without you. And I always learn so much, and you keep me on my toes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Then 9:30, we're on Aphrodite Springs. Bye.